Get ready for an unfair advantage over your competition. This is the Sales Edge podcast, where globally recognized sales expert and trainer Joe Peachy helps you sharpen your skills for booking more appointments and closing more deals. And now, here's your host, Joe Peachy.
Welcome back to The Sales Edge, where we're going to give you an unfair advantage over your competition. We're focusing on helping you develop that plan to pursue excellence at whatever you do. This is Joe Peachy, and we're going to spend the next 20 minutes today on helping you gain that competitive edge. Here at The Sales Edge, our focus is to be direct, politely direct, no fluff, straight talk, straight answers on things that are going to help you to get that competitive edge, to take your business, your career, your professional to the next level. We're excited, and we want to thank people from around the world. Just last week, we went into our 20th country, and we're going to list those companies in our next podcast and keep you aware of wherever we're going throughout the world. And it's exciting, and it's both humbling. So today, the Sales Edge is going to be focusing on a next section of your professional development series. You know, things that are going to help you put tools in your toolbox. And so we're going to start out with a few things, a few questions, and you have to decide, do I like the answers to these questions? You know, I think part of life is asking tough questions. I ask myself tough questions every day. And when I don't like the answer, I have a decision I have to make. You know, am I going to change it? Am I going to confront it? Am I going to back away from it? You know, and we have to do a personal evaluation in this area of personal development. And it's been kind of disconcerting to Dawn and I over the course of, I'd say the last 8 years, at how few people are striving to operate in an excellent area. I was on an airplane sitting next to a gentleman last week, and we got into a conversation. And he said, well, how are you finding it out there? You know, I hear things are better in the economy, but I know a lot of my friends own companies that are really struggling. You know, I see friends of mine that have careers and professionals, and I know everything you read is the economy has gotten so much better, but they don't seem to be doing better, Joe. And he said, so what do you think what's the situation here? And I said to him, well, I'm going to make a blanket statement and, you know, take it for what it's worth. But I believe it's easier to be successful today than ever before in my lifetime, at least. And he looks at me, he was kind of perplexed, and he said, why do you say that? I mean, how can you say that? There's more competition today than ever. I said, well, I believe that has to do with your definition of competition. I said, I believe what I believe because I believe less and less people are working for excellence. Less and less people have a prescribed self-development program that they're getting better. And so with that, I said, let me ask you a couple questions. I don't want you to be offended, and you know, I can tend to offend people. I don't mean it. I've worked very hard at communication skills. I've worked hard at not being an in-your-face person. But I tend to ask questions, and sometimes people, when they don't like the answer, they shoot the messenger. I'm going to ask you some of the questions I asked him. Let's just say his name was Bob, and we were flying from Atlanta back to Orlando. Question number one, Bob. When it comes to your profession, your career, your vocation, or your business, where would you think you would need to improve? And he kind of looked at me. He says, well, be more specific. I said, well, for example, I know personally I needed to get better at implementing technology. I said, honestly, I'm not kidding you, but 9 months ago I was on a flip phone. And he laughed. He thought I was kidding. I said, no, if you know anything about me, you'll know that was true. I knew I needed to get better. I maybe for you, I don't know, Bob. Maybe it's writing proposals. Maybe it's executing your presentation, because he owned his own business and he was basically responsible for the growth. Maybe it's better lead generation. Maybe you have to be a little bit better at getting appointments with your target market. So, Bob, you don't have to answer me today. And if you're listening out there, you don't have to answer me, but you should answer yourself. So take out a pen, take out a paper. Now, if you're driving, don't do that. But if you're somewhere that you can write, or maybe you can remember this, or maybe you have one of those phones where you can do a lot of things at one time, where do you want to and where do you need to improve? What about you and what you do should get better? The second question, I said, Bob, now please don't be upset with me, but here's kind of a sticky question. Are you willing to get it out of your comfort zone? Whoa. I ask you that question. I ask me that question every single day. Everybody has a comfort zone. Everybody has a sweet spot that they operate in that they're pretty comfortable in. I certainly was with my flip phone. Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone? When Dawn and I decided to get into social media, it was really uncomfortable for her. And because I was focused more on the sales end of our business, she volunteered that would be a portion of our business that she would take on. Her sweet spot really is when she's in front of people, when she's speaking, inspiring, training. When she's in front of people, she lights up. That's her sweet spot. But she knew she needed to get better at social media because Joe needed more leads. It was a very important aspect and piece of our business development program. So for a full year, we hired a guru and of social media and paid him well. And he was an expert and received mentoring through Skype, through different channels, and really, really, really worked hard at learning. For close to a year, she really, really honed in on different aspects of social media, really developed skills, and then at the end of the year, I'll never forget, she said to me, okay, our target market is mostly on LinkedIn. Now, some of them go other places, but in our target market, we have a very serious business target market. They're on LinkedIn. She said, but most people are using LinkedIn as an inbound tool. I need to take the next 4, 5, 6 months and learn how to make this an outbound tool, Joe, so we can mine leads and you can bring them to the table and we can expand our business. So she went to work. It wasn't easy. But after 7 months, she was ranked in the top 10 women on LinkedIn to follow. And her specialty is how to leverage LinkedIn for lead generation. And now, I would say 31% of our business leads are coming from LinkedIn. So what was our weakness became our strength because that was something we addressed. Number 3, Bob. Joe, I talk to me when I talk to you, Bob, or anybody listening. Am I willing to invest time and money in making myself better? Knowledge is not free, and neither is time. Like when we needed to get Dawn better, we hired a coach. It wasn't money that grew off the tree. That was an investment that we were going to make. You can turn your car into a classroom. There's so many ways, and in future podcasts, I'll be talking about so many ways you can really access information. Hiring a private coach, going to training. There's so many ways. However, everything costs time and money. And even if you're not writing a check, your hours are worth money. Now, we'll tell you something about making that investment. Be very careful. Be very careful that the people you write the check to are all they say they are. Make sure they're experts in the field. Make sure they're performing what they're going to be teaching you to do. And so, Bob, as I asked Bob these questions, he goes, "Well, I don't like the answers to any of your questions." I said, "You mean you're upset with me?" He goes, "No, I'm upset with me." He said, "Joe, I am not addressing the areas I need to improve. I'm the same guy today I was 3 years ago, and now I'm starting to realize why I'm losing market share." And so my question to our listening audience, not in a direct way, not in a way of saying we are no better than you. We are you. We are just like you, that we have to answer these questions. We have got to constantly be doing an assessment on our development and where we are. And so I would recommend that in these 3 questions, do you know what you want to improve? Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone? I deal with this every day. I would say if you had to pick, probably the thing that I am most known for internationally is my ability to work with people, get their messaging clear, but then get them on the phone live, making outbound calls, booking appointments, converting business, collecting, and whatever it is somebody wants as a result from a phone call. That's an area I excel at. But I will tell you this. Question number 2, there's so many people that are not willing to get out of that comfort zone. There's so many people that would rather stay comfortable and not move forward. And so answering that question is important, because I would say that 99% of my no's, we have a high closing ratio, and because we have a very strong value proposition on whether or not we're going to sit down with people or not. But I would say 99% of the time people say no to me. It's not about the money that I require. It's about they're not ready to face the giant. They're not ready to overcome the comfort zone of taking on the areas, because they know that when they're working with me, they're going to resolve their fears and their issues. But now it's a matter of, do I have the ambition and self-discipline to perform? So answering that next question. And then the third question, and once again, I can only go by what we've experienced for many years. We've seen people that have 2 kinds of money and 2 kinds of time. It's their business or their career or their professional money and time, and it's their personal money and time. And I was raised by an old Italian builder, and I remember as a kid, that money and his time went into the business first, and the business created the food on the table, the mortgage payment. And he invested his time and money in the business first, the career first, and by getting more successful, our lives got better. Here's something I would recommend. When you're looking at your business, your career, your profession, which one pays the freight? And I would recommend that you allocate money to that for your personal growth. Dawn and I, our business generates lifestyle. So if there's money we need to invest in our business, That's going to come first, because without the business growth, we're eating beans and franks. Okay? And I'm not really excited about that. So I'd rather eat something better, And so for you, I would recommend when you look at your budget, and time is more important than money. So when you budget your time, are you budgeting time towards your self-development program? Is this something you're doing consistently? Zig Ziglar said, if you're hard on yourself, it makes life infinitely easier. So these are 3 questions that I personally have to ask myself. We laugh about it here at our house, and my clients laugh about it. I was not very good at doing what I needed to do with technology. I was slow with technology, and what I realized, I needed to learn this stuff. I needed to get better. And so what I had to do was take time and money and do that. So as we have a couple more questions for you, and hopefully, do you believe you need a structured program? Do you believe you need that development program? Okay? If you're not satisfied where you are, what are you going to do differently? And the next question is, are you confident in the areas that you are working in? So the first thing now, what I recommend you do is start to sit down and say, okay, what are a few things I can do to structure a personal development program? I'm going to give you some means in the next podcast, but really want to sit down, take a pad, map it out. Just map it out. What are 3, 5, 7 things I can do to invest my time, to invest my money, to get out of my comfort zone, to improve the areas that are going to make the difference in my business? I'm Joe Peachy. This is the Sales Edge. Sales Edge sponsor is Peachy & Peachy, Inc., which is a training, speaking, coaching firm which focuses on helping people grow their business, attract and retain more clients. We also work very intently with professional speakers, trainers, and coaches to help them take their talent and intellectual property and generate an income with it. We teach them the business side. I got something for you. If you will go on your iPhone or your smartphone, Android, and type in 55678, and then in the tagline, type in Sales Edge. It needs to be one word, and you'll find that on an iPhone, it may break it up, so put quotes around it. Once you have that, send it. It's going to take you to a link. That link, when you hit it, it's going to take you to a landing page. On that landing page has a few ebooks. One is on LinkedIn. Another one is on sales. They're free downloads. We welcome you to do that. Also, for friends of yours, business associates, you can forward that to them. And on the bottom of it, they also have links to this podcast. We're getting questions, and we want to start answering them. So if you have a question of Joe or Dawn, she was on a couple weeks ago for LinkedIn, type to joe@PICIANDPICI.com, my email. Put tagline Sales Edge and write your question, but be specific. Do you want me to answer it on the air? Do you want me to answer it privately? You are also welcome to call Joe at 407-947-2590, and we're offering you a free cup of Joe. Spend a couple minutes with me. Maybe I can give you some tips to help you get to the next level. So thanks a lot. We're really excited about moving into our 20th country. Our goal is to help more people get that competitive edge and get where they want to go. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in our next podcast.
Thanks for listening. New episodes will air each Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a 5-star review. The Sales Edge is sponsored by Peachy & Peachy Incorporated, a firm which provides training, consulting, and keynote presentations, empowering corporations and individuals to attract and retain quality clients for higher revenues and growth. Make more money in sales. Speak with Joe in person by calling 407-947-2590 or visit www.peachyandpeachy.com. Spelled PICIAND, PICI.com.